Welcome to this morning routine. So it's a morning routine, but also I do this before I work out at the gym, or sometimes if I'm really stressed and I just need a moment. This is a nice routine to enjoy. We're going to go through all the muscles and joints and stretch everything out and just calm the mind. Ready? Starting in your 4-point kneeling. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees hip distance apart. If you have a head cushion, you can kick it away if it's in your way. Ready? Lengthening through the tail and through the crown of the head. I'm going to tuck the pelvis under. So I'm actively keeping the spine long as I come into my cat, and then head and tail come back at the same time. And again, breathing out, draw the belly in. Keep that active lengthening. Breathing in. One more of those. Good. Hold the top of that cat, and then you're going to gently rock back. Tiny little rock. So I have a prolapse disc, and it's always a little tight, my pelvis and low back, and this feels great. Last one of those. Coming into neutral, drawing those shoulders back. And then from there, tail wags. Ready? So sending my hips side to side. Keep reaching through the tailbone. Last one of those, even yourself out, and then come into neutral. From there, you're just going to do 2 tricep dips, because just to start to hinge from the hips and the elbows. One more of those, because that is the perfect way to get your thread the needle in good alignment. Initiate with the tricep dip, bring your arm down, leave it on the floor as you rotate all the way down. So you might feel comfortable with your head down. If you're still comfortable, to make it a little more of a stretch, bring that arm, and then I really actively get a little more rotation. Good, and then bringing that hand back, slowly coming up. Same thing on the other side, initiate with a tricep press, and then going the other way. Continue to breathe as you get that little extra rotation. If that suits your head and neck, please listen to your body. You don't need to do this little bit. And coming up. Nice. And then you're going to step your hands forward. Okay, draw the shoulders back. Listen to your body. So if it's quite tight, this might not be a great extension. And then keep your hands where they are, drawing that belly in to protect your core as you send the hips towards your heels. Don't move your hands. Drop your head so you're looking at your feet. And then rippling through the spine. Draw the shoulders back. Adjust your hands. Your wrist should be right underneath the shoulders. And then I can get just a little more extension there. Coming back. Take a nice big breath in there. Dropping the head, ripple through the spine. Coming up. You're going to do 2 more of those. If you want to do 2 and more advanced, you tuck your toes as you come into a plank. Lift up. Send your heels down. Nice calf stretch there. You can send a moment and just send your hips up towards the ceiling. Coming back up to ripple through the spine. Send the hips down. Now you're going further, so please listen to your body. Really strong in the core. Last one to come up. Heels down, backline stretch. Coming up. Coming into extension. And then coming up into neutral. Bring the knees down, sit back onto your heels. Good work. Good. And then come lie down into your rest position. Sorry, your relaxation position. So grab your head cushion. Come lie on your backs with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, feet hip distance apart, okay? So take 2 thoracic breaths there. You're welcome to put your hands on the bottom of your rib cage. So really opening up from the bottom, let it collapse down. Try not to let the upper part of the chest rise as you do this. 1 more of those. Melt into your mat as you exhale. Bring your arms down by your side. Ready for pelvic tilts. Draw the belly in. Imprint your low back. Breathing in to send it the other way. Keep your body relaxed. Keep that pelvis super heavy. 1 more pelvic tilt. And then we're going to come into a spine curl. So imprint your low back, starting to wheel your hips up towards the ceiling, pushing through the feet. Hips up, ribs down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, send those knees over your toes as you elongate, but then tuck that pelvis under. So I'm rolling through my low back and then into a neutral spine. Good. One more of those. Imprint your low back. Wheeling out, breath in at the top. Breathing out to elongate, to come down. We're going to do 2, adding on a rib cage closure, okay? Breathing out, imprint. Coming up. Each time it should feel a little bit better. Start to open up the quads and the hips. Breathing in, arm comes back behind you. Breathing out to come on down. Breathing in, arms down. One more of those. Really sending those knees away, reaching through the fingers now. I can feel all my spinal extensor muscles getting a nice stretch there, coming into neutral. Arms down by your side and then into a low V. Bring your knees together, your feet together. We're going to do a hip roll. So you're going to keep your feet stacked like a foosball. So the bottom part of my body's in a cast. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to send your knees over towards the right. Send that rib down, lengthen the top left hip down and away from you. Use those left obliques to come up into center. Same thing as on the other side. Find the length in the spine by sending that hip down. Obliques to wake up and do a little work. One more on each side. If you want to send your head in the opposite direction, it does feel really nice. Good. And then coming up into center. If you have a bad back, I would recommend just having your feet a little further away. You're going to cross your left leg all the way over the right. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, listen to your body on this one. You're going to slowly hip roll. So most people just get a really lovely stretch into the hip. If you have tight SI joints, that's just off to the center in the top part of the pelvis. This also gives it a little stretch. Good. Use those obliques to come up into center. And then the same thing on the other side. Cross the leg over, and over you go. Good. Coming on up. From there, you're going to lengthen the right knee away from you. Bring the left knee into a single knee fold. We're going to do a piriformis stretch. So draw the knee in a little bit more, but leave that tailbone down, right? You don't want to flex under. Bring the hand over and across. You're going to hip roll. So go ahead and let that left hip lift. And then actively, with my hand, I'm going to send the foot down towards the ground. So that's my opposition. I'm going to send that hip down. I could put the left knee closer to the right shoulder, but actually get that foot down towards the floor. If you don't feel anything, make sure that the foot isn't coming in towards your body, but it's going away from you, and that will deepen that stretch. And breathe. Coming on up, lengthen that leg away from you. Take a moment and just make sure your alignment is still organized. Relax your body. Other side, single knee fold, hand comes across. Hip roll, this arm is out to the side to anchor me down. I'm going to bring the knee up a little bit, send that hip down, foot down towards the floor, and slightly away from my body. If this is really quite painful, if you sit a lot for all day, your piriformis is going to be tight. So you can always hold this stretch for a minute or as long as you can handle. It's a great one. Coming up. Good. Send your legs away from you. Give yourself a full body stretch. Good. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Backstroke arms. You're going to bring one arm back, one arm down. Send the ribs down. And swap. Good, relax your body now into the mat. Give it a chance to relax. And then we're just going to do some arm circles. So bring up both arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the arms back behind you as you send those ribs down, and then circle those arms nice and wide. Cross them over on top of you. And circle. Last one of those. Good, and then bring the arms up towards the ceiling, shoulders down and engage. Have your legs hip distance apart, flex the feet. If you can do a roll up, that's where we're headed. If it's not for you, just roll yourself onto your side and come up into a seated position. Nod your chin towards the chest, rolling up. And then just make sure I'm on camera here, you're going to spine stretch forward. So even if you sat up, really try to scoop the belly, curve and reach towards those toes. And then you're going to come up, you're going to send the left leg out to the side, bend that right knee. I'm going to reach with my left hand towards the inside of that left foot. Keep the left shoulder going towards the knee, okay? And as I do that, and with the right hand, send the right knee down, I get a luscious sort of low right back stretch into the low back. Also, it kind of opens up the hip, and also does a little of the hamstring and tiny bit of an adductor, so the inside of the inner thigh. Lengthen through the crown of the head. See if you can go just a little bit more. Please always listen to your body. Coming up, and same thing on the other side. Good. I'm going to grab that inside of the foot. Again, I'm not rotating. I'm doing a lateral flexion, but in this position, it goes right into the low back. And breathe. Nice. Coming up, then you're going to bring your feet, the heels of your feet together, and come as close as you can. Draw the shoulders down. Send the elbows into the thighs, so drawing those knees down. If you want a little more from it, hinging forward really goes into those adductors, right? The inner thighs. And breathe. Good. And then I'm going to bring my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to just turning around so I can show you. And a little bit of an external rotation, and I'm going to come into a full squat. Okay, if this is not for you, if your heels, you can't get the heels down, you can always bring your feet, the front of your feet on the floor, and your heels on your mat or a block or something underneath. So I'm gently pushing into my knees. So this is mobilizing my knee, my ankle, my knees, really releasing my low back, mobilizing my hip. And a nice hip stretch. Such a good one. Hold it there for another moment. Good. And then from there, I'm going to sit on down, cross my legs, and sit up. And I'm going to bring my hands back behind me. I'm going to send my heart up towards the ceiling. Get into a little extension, then bring my hands onto the side. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And as I go over, just bending the elbow to get into the lateral flexion. Good. And coming up, same thing on the other side. And going over. Nice. Bring the arms in front of you, lengthen. So you need to be sitting up tall. So if you're sort of rounded, don't do this. You can come sit on something, but don't do this unless you have a nice tall straight spine. And rotating slowly overhead, breathing out as you go over. Breathing in to come to center, breathing out to go the other way. Coming into center, and then from there just come back over into your 4-point kneeling. And then from there just take a cat, tucking under and coming into neutral. Then you're going to come into your down dog. Tuck those toes under and engage with the core. Send your hips up, but actively send both heels down as I'm sending my hips up. And then I'm going to bend one knee and put the other heel down. So taking a moment, nice and slow, actively, when that heel's down, I'm really pushing into my hands to get the hips up, getting that lovely backline stretch. Good, one more of those, each side. And then make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. You're going to slowly walk your feet down towards your toes and hang out there. I'm going to bend my left knee, bring my left hand onto my right ankle, and then I'm going to rotate up, sitting a tiny bit back into it. So gorgeous hip and backline stretch. With rotation, same thing on the other side. Bending the right knee. The hand comes behind the left ankle, over and across, and opening with that left arm. coming into center. Ready? Soften your knees if you have a bad back. You're going to slowly walk up as I adjust the camera. Slowly continue to roll all the way up. Great. So come into standing. From there, we're going to do lateral flexion, breathing in and out. Really let your head go as well. Breathing in and out. Good. One more to each side. It feels so good. And it feels a lot easier now than had I done this in the beginning. Good. Then we're going to do floating arms and then a little neck work. And then rotate, push the air down, go through the crown of your head. 2 more of those. Ready? Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. So you can stay facing me. I'm going to show you. You're going to bring your arms back behind you. Draw the shoulders back. Soften the knees. Draw the belly in as you hinge. Lift the shoulders up. Backline stretch, shoulder mobility exercise. Please listen to your shoulders. Soften your knees to come up. Roll the shoulders back. Good. Let's do our necks. Ready? You're going to send your ear over to the side and bring that hand gently. Grow through the crown of the head so you have a really elongated spine. Listen to your neck. If doing this part is too much, then don't do it. It's okay. You don't need your arm to add that extra bit. And then rotate, or actually come up. Other side. Head goes over. Hand goes just a little bit more. Have a stretch into the side of the neck here. Good. Coming on up. And then you're going to go back to the other side. And then rotate so the nose is looking at the shoulder. Lengthen through the crown of the head just a little bit more. Good. And then you're going to de-rotate and come back up. Same thing on the other side. So ear goes over and then rotating. Good. De-rotate. Come back up. Last one. Looking over the shoulder. A really important functional movement that we need. As long as we have it, we need to use it. Lengthen through the crown of the head, 1 more to each side. And the other. Coming into center, roll the shoulders back. I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly am feeling very relaxed. Appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Bye.